Welcome, guys, to a Wednesday night show. We're just instant reaction on the men's win. Now I'll call it a comeback win because we were down by 1 point until we made the free throw to win the game. So the men come back today. First of all, let's take care of business. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe now. It's right there in front of you. Hit the like button because the like button is really important in the algorithm. I don't know how, but it's supposed to help. And then, of course, leave a comment. And then, by all means, let's share this out, guys. Let's share it out all over the United States, all over Europe, all over Asia, all over South America, Mexico, and Canada. Did I miss anybody?
Yeah, I'm going to share it out to the Milky Way.
Okay. Yeah, somebody up there might get it. You put it on the Milky Way, it'll bounce all over the world.
Yeah. So one little piece of news that people might be interested in is that Washington beat Maryland in overtime in women's basketball. If you're tracking the women's basketball race, and so they're both top 20 teams. But.
Yeah. And we're talking about the men's win over USC tonight, and their next game is Sunday night against Oregon. Who plays. Actually, I feel bad right now because who's ever got to play Oregon at 8:00 tonight on BTN? If Oregon's at home, man, I wouldn't want to be the road team, unless of course it's a West Coast team.
They're playing UCLA.
Yeah, so it's not a big deal then. They're both used to the 8:00 start. Yeah, I was just thinking, God, I can't believe they would ask some team from the East or the Midwest to play an 8:00 game in California.
Yeah, Oregon is so decimated by injuries that I wouldn't expect them to give UCLA a very good game, but we'll see.
All right, we're going to talk about Oregon in a little bit. But let's talk about the USC. We got off to a really, really slow start. And I did make the comment, I thought we got off to a horrible start. That was considered negative by my friends on my chat. I was just doing facts because nobody can deny. If anybody out here can deny and say that they didn't get off to a horrible start, tell me now. The nice thing about it is they're in that horrible start. I never gave up on them winning this game. The nice thing about the horrible start is unlike last year with UCLA when we got off to a horrible start, we were never able to recover because we just kept getting buried. And this year was different because our defense took over, and we kept the game close enough to where we could make a run at them, and the defense did. And so eventually we started to make a run at them. We had a slight lead, I believe a 1-point lead right before half, but we ended up trailing by 1 at half. And during the last 5 minutes and the first 5 minutes of the second half, I believe we went on a 20-4 run. And we got up by 17 and maintained it, 15-17 most of the time until that last 6 minutes when that crazy guy, whatever his name is, his last name was Wood, just took over the game. And I mean, when I say took over the game, I mean literally took over the game. I gotta look. How many points did that guy have tonight?
I think he had like 30. He scored. I know he scored 17 in a row. He might have scored more than that. And he had scored 24 points in the whole season. he'd only played 8 games, but he got in a zone and
well, as
that
I
was
mentioned,
all he wrote.
yeah. Well, as I mentioned before, he got in a zone, but we weren't really guarding him. We weren't really challenging him when he decided to go to the hole and lay in a shot. We stood back and let him. I know that we were afraid of fouling. I'm sure that Ben out there and said no more fouls because it seemed like every time we put a little finger on their shoulder, we were getting called for a foul. Put a little finger on their arm, we were getting called for a foul. And yet, when I looked, Folgueras had one where he missed the shot, but he got called for a foul. And the guy, when he hit the ball, he clearly, both of their arms collided. And the referees didn't say anything. The announcers didn't say anything. But they were so busy talking about raveling and cancer and everything else tonight. It made me kind of mad that they kind of took focus off the game. I understand that, maybe we do want to talk a little bit about George Raveling because he did coach both the schools. I did like the quote that they were wearing on the T-shirts. Do you kind of remember what that was?
No, I didn't pay attention. I don't really pay much attention to I watch the game and I don't pay attention to the announcers. I'm sorry. I really don't, because most of the time I don't care too much about what they're saying, but anyway.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go look at this real quick. I guess I messed that one up. I'll just have to go to the one you sent. Now I just got to find you. Did you put it under mine or no, you didn't? You put it, here we go. All righty. So, Wood, whatever his name is. Woods. 33 points tonight. Yep. Played 40 minutes, 12 of 17, 2 from 4 from the 3-point land, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, and he had 3 personal fouls. But after that, you can't see the rest of the stats for that line. So let's just talk about what they did. Their starter, Azir, fouled out. Only 10 points out of him. I think he's usually more than that. Kofi, 4 points, 2 for 5. Arenas, 6 points.
He's Gilbert Arenas' boy, and he was a 5-star recruit that they paid a lot of money for. He's a freshman.
Yeah, he's the one that was injured earlier in the year, and this was his 3rd game back. Okay, all righty. And then Baker Mraz, 13 points, 5 for 19, 3 from 7 from 3-point land. I believe he's the one that didn't make a 3-pointer all year, and then he made 3 of them against Iowa.
No, Woods hadn't made one all year, and he made 2. That last guy, Mamaro, whatever his name is, he's famous for being 26 years old.
Yeah, I read that on my notes tonight. 26 years old. He's been in college for 6 years.
He's the Jess Suttles of USC. He must have had a couple medical redshirt years. Either that or he went to BYU, which I doubt. Yeah. He went to BYU and went on a religious what do they call them when they go out and the Mormons go for 2 years out recruiting?
Mission. Just a mission.
Yeah,
just a mission.
A mission? Okay.
Yeah. Every game, Jake says, diehard Husker sports fan here. Hell of a win tonight, boys. Yes, it was a hell of a win. Husker fan, what happened against Michigan? I thought I was really counting on you guys to win that game last night, because when we meet you, I wanted to be the one to give you your first loss. Sorry.
Michigan is the most talented team in the Big Ten. Holy cow.
Yeah. No, I'm just giving you crap, Husker fan.
The guy that takes care of my horses is in Indiana. He grew up in Indiana, and he told me yesterday, I said, what's it feel like to win the national championship in football? And he says, I can't believe it. And then he goes, but I want to win tonight. Indiana went to Purdue, and by gosh, they upset Purdue last night. You know, I couldn't believe that they upset Purdue. You know, but it's got Iowa closer to Purdue, one game behind Purdue in the standings. You know, and then Minnesota is just kicking Wisconsin's rear end tonight at Wisconsin, 35-19, with 17 minutes to go, and that'll put Iowa even closer to getting higher than the top 6 in the Big Ten. You know, so
yeah. Well, right now we're going to jump into the top 9 after tonight's win because we're tied with somebody else 5-5.
We're higher than that.
Yeah, we're number. I don't know.
I think we're 5-4, and Indiana's 5-5, so we're ahead of them. I think we're like 7th place or 6th place, but
yeah, we'll have to look at that later tonight before we get off of there. Okay, so let's take a look about our guys tonight, how they did tonight. Okay, Manuel only played 10 minutes, only 2 points, 1 for 2, 2 rebounds. Cooper Koch, 20 minutes, 3 points, 1 for 3, 1 for 3, 4 rebounds though, 1 assist. Do you think what's going on with Koch? Earlier in the year, he couldn't miss, and he struggles now. Judging by how many shots he actually took, he's scared to take shots now, it looks like. Okay.
I don't know, Dean.
Okay. Sturts, 40 minutes, 20 points, 6 for 12 for the field goal range, so he shot 50%. 2 for 4 for 3-point land, so he shot 50% there. 8 for 8 from the free throw line, so he did good there. 7 rebounds and one assist. I got to tell you, he went up above everybody. I thought he was a high jumper the way he'd skied up for a couple of those rebounds. Okay, every game, Jake, he's our Husker fan, says, yeah, it was a tough loss. Michigan is really good. What can I say? You got a really good team, too. I'm curious if you feel that you would be better if you still had Bryce Sanford. I'm going to flip that around. Let's flip that around. How are you guys liking Bryce over there at Nebraska land?
He's having quite a year. Yeah, we'd be better with Price. We'd be better with Price. You know, anytime you have an extra player that can shoot and stuff. He wasn't a very good defensive player at Iowa, but he didn't have a very good defensive coach. So
yeah, do you think he would have played some defense for Iowa, or because he wouldn't be playing if he didn't?
He would have had to, right? I mean.
Oh yeah. Okay. All righty. Then there's Banks, Tavian Banks, who actually fouled out of the game. He only played 28 minutes, but boy, was he productive. 20 points, 5 for 11, 2 for 4, 8 for 8, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. You know, and here's the crazy thing. He's got 30 free throws in a row. If he can get to 34, you know, does he go for number 35 or does he pull a Jordan Bohannon and bounce the ball off the rim? This is what I would do. I would bounce the ball off the rim and have that ball come right back to me and lay it in for 2 points.
I think Chris Street, it was fine the first time that Jordan missed it on purpose in honor of Chris. But I think Chris Street, the competitor that he was, he would tell Tavian Banks, go make 50 of them in a row for my Hawkeyes. You know,
he would have told Jordan the same thing, but, you know, Jordan didn't think that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Street was too competitive of a guy. He would,
I just don't want people that if he don't miss it on purpose, if he gets to that point, and maybe he's not too aware, but I'm sure all these people are going to be telling him this week when he goes to Oregon or something. But I just hope people, if he breaks it, they're not stupid and say, oh, he should have missed it. You know,
but hey, listen to this. Okay. Mm-hmm. He may be semi-aware, but he's not thinking about it. I'm sure the team's not talking about it. I'm sure coaches aren't talking about it. This is just like, I don't know if you were ever a bowler, but when a bowler's got strikes in a row starting from the first frame, you don't talk to him. You don't bring it up that he's on his way to a possible perfect game. You don't do it. And I'm sure with this case, you don't want to break his streak, so you don't put pressure on him by asking him about it. And if the media starts asking him about it, they should be shame on them. Shame on the media.
Well, they'll ask if they get a chance. They'll ask him, but I doubt that they'll get a chance to talk to him before he goes to Oregon. They'll probably go to Oregon, leave for Oregon, on Friday. I doubt that there'll be any press conferences or anything where you can talk to Tavian. So,
well, yeah, because Chad Lysicle's on a plane tonight to Southern California, so he let us know that we won't be hearing from him tonight. Okay. Cale Combs, 33 minutes, 6 points, 2 for 6, 0 for 2, 2 for 2, 4 rebounds, 4 assists.
He sure is a good defensive player, Dean.
Yeah. Fulgaris, 27 points, 27 minutes, 14 points, 5 for 10 shooting, 50%. 2 for 5 on his 3-point. What is that? 75? No, 75%.
40%.
Oh yeah, 40%. Yeah, what am I thinking? 2 for 3 on free throw. So, and 5 rebounds. The guy had a great night. He had a really good night.
Tom Kakert had said on a podcast, maybe today, I might have shared it. It might have been on Randazzo's show, that Alvaro these days off had a great week of practice. And it's my belief that Manyao got 2 fouls early and Ben took him out. And Ben hadn't been doing that all year. If Manyao gets 2 fouls, he leaves him in. And I think Ben rewarded Alvaro for the great week of practice. And he didn't go back to Manyao. Manyao I don't know if he played 10, 12 minutes. And Ben's a big practice guy.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Ben's a big coach on practice. How you practice. You earn your playing time, practice. And they said Alvaro had a great week of practice, and I think Ben rewarded him. Tate Sage didn't play very much. Tate Sage didn't play very good, and you don't play very good, Ben sits you on bench.
Yeah, he only played 12 minutes, 1 point, 0 for 4, 0 for 3, 1 for 2. No rebounds, no assists. Let's just finish it up before we introduce Jason, who's here with us. You guys all saw me put him on the screen. Isaiah Howard, 25 minutes, 7 points, 3 for 5, 1 for 2, 0 for 1, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He just quietly, I love the way he works out there. He just quietly does things that don't get a lot of accolades. I mean, so, and then of course the last one is Houston. He only played 5 minutes, no points, 0 for 2, 0 for 2, and no stats, other words. So, but I got a question, and Jason, I think, can help me answer this one. And maybe, Kelvin, you know the answer too, because I've asked this before, but nobody seems to know the answer or really understands the answer. When a player, that somebody makes a basket, they take the ball out, and they just roll it in bounds, and the guy they're rolling it to just follows it up the court. And today, twice they rolled that ball over the halfway line. Why can't one of our guys come run up there and grab the ball? That'd be like intercepting a pass.
No, they can't. That's the only thing that I dislike that Ben does is he allows that, whereas the women don't, and Lisa never did. You'd have Lisa also had Gabby. Gabby would go up and make the person pick up the ball. I don't know why they do that, because the shot clock does not start until they pick up the ball. I wish Ben would have one guy go down and make him pick up the ball so the clock starts instead of everybody dropping back and just waiting and letting the ball roll. I mean, that's silly to me, but I mean, that's his way and it obviously works. All he does is win, right? But I don't understand it personally. And it allows them to come back. It allows them to bring it up to court with no clock moving. So I mean, it makes no sense to me, but I mean, it obviously works for him.
I think that if it's at a point of the game where the time is of the essence, I'm sure he has a guy. Like on the last play for USC, he was pressing them, so they couldn't do something like that. But
yeah, he had a guy. He had a guy.
He
on
probably
the
doesn't. He probably doesn't think it's. He probably doesn't think that in the middle of a game it's that important. I don't know.
Well,
It
wasn't in the middle of the game though. There was 2 minutes to go.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let that happen.
You'd have to ask Ben. I don't know.
No, right. I don't know why.
I wish I could have the opportunity to ask Ben some questions. I would love. I would love to.
Well, apply for a media thing. That's what they all do.
I can't go. I can't go there in person. And only Jan does. And only Jan has.
He has to fly to Iowa City.
Yeah. Only Jan does. I was just going to say, only Jan, I think, does Zoom meetings on her weekly pressers. Well, Ben might. I don't. Maybe Ben does too.
Ben does once in a while, but.
So if I can get in on that Zoom meeting, you know.
You have what you do, Dean. Since you live so far away, you have Jason do it.
There you go.
Or you just fly your butt in and do it. You only have to do it one time. Fly in and do it one time.
Okay, like Dean is filthy rich, you know.
Yeah,
he goes. You know.
I'm really rich, but hey, that's why I can only come back to Iowa once a year. Should I come back next year? Should I come back next year for the Iowa State game or the UNI game? I'm considering UNI.
Well, I would come for the Ohio State game.
Sorry, that's a little later in the than I want to come back.
Because Urban Meyer's going to be there for game day, and you can heckle him. Even if he can't get into the game, you can come and heckle him. I know it's going to be a game day. It's going to be the big noon or whatever playing Ohio State.
Who do you want me to heckle? I didn't hear.
Urban Meyer.
Oh, Urban Meyer. I could care less about him.
Well, just keep yelling at him the score of the last time he came to Iowa City. You know. Okay.
All righty.
What I was going to say, Dean, real quick, was isn't your family a big part of UNI? Isn't that why that would be a game?
Yes, they are. They're big into UNI.
So that would make more sense than Ohio State because your whole family would be involved with that. Come back and you should come back during basketball season and ask Ben a question.
There you go.
Apply.
Well, I already applied for the new coaching job available for soccer.
You did. I don't think apply you in for an interview.
I don't think Beth will even interview me.
I don't. Go ahead.
How much experience have you got coaching college women? I don't, but I did coach high school for a couple of years.
What was I going to say? Yeah, I don't like soccer because there's no huddles. So the field's too big and there's no huddles. I don't like it.
Soccer's a lot of fun to coach and play. I played it too. Look, Jason, let me ask you your opinion on that final foul that Sturtz was fouled on that gave him the chance to win the game at the free throw line. Well, or at least give us the lead at the free throw line. Do you think that was intentional and that the guy who fouled him had a brain fart thinking they were behind and not ahead?
I think he had a brain fart. I mean, that's what it looks like. But he could have just been trying to steal the ball too, right? He could have been trying to seal the game. A turnover there. Sturtz had 5 turnovers. I don't like how he had 2 assists and 5 turnovers. At least when Caitlin Clark had 5 turnovers, she also had 10 assists. Yeah, like Sturtz had a bad game, and he played all 40 minutes. Like he didn't play very good defense. He kept getting the ball stolen from him. Like I just don't understand why he doesn't see the bench when all he's doing is turning it over. Especially when there's proof when he's on the bench that they play better sometimes. You know, like against Purdue. I think it depends on who guards him because he's not the quickest guy. I really think it depends on, like, he struggled at Purdue, but it was because he had people just all over him. I really think. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say tonight he had people all over him too. I think every Big Ten team he faces from here on out, he's going to be double teamed and sometimes triple teamed if he gets around the screen. Somebody's going to be there waiting for him.
I mean, it just depends on the coach, but the only teams I've seen do it is Purdue, and there was one other team I can't remember. I know there was 3 teams, and then tonight. But tonight they had so much athletic ability. Like there's not Sturts struggles against athletic ability. I mean that's just real. But Tavion, he had 4 turnovers. They had 9 turnovers between those two out of what they have 14 on the game or something. And they had 9 of them themselves. Like it was a strange game. I just don't understand. Well, I don't understand like your question, Dean. I don't know why they allow somebody to let the ball roll that long. And then I don't understand why we don't put Sturts on the bench once in a while, especially if they're up by 17. See what happens when they take Sturts off the court. Because then they got the – I mean, I just don't – he played all 40, and he doesn't play defense when he's trying to conserve energy. He does the Caden Clark thing on the defensive end a lot of times, and they take advantage of it against him. But when his offense isn't there, I don't know why he's on the court. He's great when he has all his energy, but when he's tired, it's just not there.
I think Ben plays him the most because he's by far our best player, and he's the leader of the team. It's
he's our best player.
It's like why do you? He's got this. If he's a way better defensive player than Caitlin Clark ever dreamed of being. You know, why did you play Caitlin Clark 38 minutes a game? Because she's a great best player. Sturts is the heart of the team. He's the leader of the team. You know, him and Banks ought to be playing
even when they play bad. Yeah, they should be on the court. Even when they play bad and allow a 17-point comeback. Keep them on the court.
Here's my opinion.
Everybody, if you ever watch basketball in your life, everybody has spurts, has games where you're not consistent. We've seen that with every player. Well, maybe not Ronnie Lester.
But here's my opinion
about every player in the history of basketball, you know.
Okay. But here's my opinion on this, on benching Sturts. Okay, alrighty. The way we started tonight, he had a hard time getting free, getting looks. I think what you have to do by that time is you have to force them to change defense by putting him on the bench. I'm not saying benching for the whole game, but for a few minutes. Force them to get in a different defense, and you may have a couple of more guys get better looks and wide open and score a few points, okay? I mean, that happened against Purdue that happened? Right, against Purdue?
I promise I'll call the basketball office and tell them that Jason and Dean thinks that Ben shouldn't play as much. We'll get that word to Ben McCollum. You know, that coach he struggles along, you know. So.
That's Kelvin for you. Just taking the words.
He doesn't. He just doesn't know what. I mean, there's proof in the pudding. Again, tonight they're up 17. He got tired. He didn't play defense, and he gave up a lot of those points that Cam Woods went off on was on Sturts. And there's a game at Purdue. There's proof in the pudding. Sturts went to the bench down by 17 or 18. And when he came back on the court, it was like a 9-point game because the team without Sturts played great. So, I mean, it's like they're afraid to put Sturts on the bench to be afraid that they might play well without him. I mean, that's what's silly about it. To allow him to not play defense on this Woods kid and just let the Woods kid score and score 17 straight points, they came back and took the lead because Sturts wasn't playing defense. I mean, it's hilarious to even think about. He was guarding Woods, who was on fire, because he didn't guard him. He just let him shoot. Like, none of that makes any damn sense if you look at reality. But, you know, we just gonna.
I've seen a lot of different players guarding Sturt. Start guarding Woods tonight. So
Okay.
Yeah.
we play a switching defense, and
Yep.
Combs was
They play man to man.
Combs was on him. When they come to a screen, they switch a lot.
Yes.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do.
Yes.
Sometimes Alvaro was on him. Sometimes Combs was on him. Sometimes Howard was on him. But anyway,
that's all false. That's all false. But you can keep talking all you want. That's false. Those Falgalis or whatever how you say his name was Fulgaris was never guarding him. It was the guards that were guarding him. It was the people up front that were guarding him. So you can't just sit there and name off all these players that were. They play man to man. They only really switch when there's a screen. So
that's what I just said.
Him a few. Yes, but you were saying Fulgaris and all these other people are guarding him. No, it was Sturts.
I think Fulgaris fouled him for a 3-point play once, but
trying to get out there.
No, it was underneath the basket.
Yes.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's
Where did Dean go?
He died. He got so frustrated during the game today that he decided to end it all. It's like
he was so
good. He only shows up on the game feed when things are going bad. I said in the second half, I said, "Where did you go? You were gone for 15 minutes of the second half." Well, there wasn't anything to talk about. There was a lot of positives. There was a lot of positives to talk about. There's Dean. Dean's coming back. I bet it was his wife. I bet it was his wife why he was gone.
Nope, had nothing to do with it. I had to blow my nose and go to the bathroom.
You got to give him credit, though, Kelvin. Give him credit for the first half. He was calm. We were getting our butt kicked for a minute. He was calm. He wasn't being all crazy.
He told poor Kyle that to just turn the game off. It wasn't worth watching.
I didn't say that.
You did too. It isn't even worth watching. And I go, what? I just said, well, I said to you and Kyle, who Jason wasn't going in.
Yeah,
what did I say? I said, well, I'm going to continue watching it, and I'll tell you what happened in the game. But that's and then Dean disappeared in the whole second half while everything was positive. And it was like there was no Dean in the second half for like 10, 15 minutes. And then he showed up and said, well, we're going to lose now.
I saw that.
So,
that's when I got in the chat. I saw that part. And I just laughed at it.
So let's be real here, So let's bench Sturts. Bench Sturts and be negative.
I'm going to read you my receipts here, as they would call it.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to read you the exact conversation between me and Kyle. Okay. Kyle says, I'm not even watching it at all. I won't be on tonight. I have to do a podcast on Friday night by myself. So blah, blah, blah. Okay. I said, you aren't missing anything. That's all I said.
That's pretty much saying, don't watch it. It ain't worth watching. Yeah.
Don't put words in my mouth.
And then I said, well, I'll watch it because I love the Hawkeyes, I'm going to watch it,
I did talk about some of the refereeing. Now, I do want to say, I think you guys misunderstood when I talked about the goaltending calls. Because there was two.
Go ahead with those. Go ahead with that. Yeah.
Okay. I agree that the second one wasn't a goaltending, but they originally gave us. So I agree that they took it off the board. Okay. But you guys, the announcer said that the first one was a goaltending. The guy grabbed the bottom of the net, but the ref didn't call it. Okay.
Yeah, I remember
that's the one I was talking about when I said the missed goaltending.
And I never seen a replay. I never seen a replay of that.
They did replay it. You might have got to the bathroom or something.
The one they were arguing about. The one they were arguing about was it a goaltend? He hit the ball on the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously not a goaltend. But I thought the referee might have called it because the ball bounced, come down, and was right around the basket, and the guy slapped the backboard, which is a goaltend. You cannot slap the backboard if the ball is around the hoop.
Yeah.
Right.
It's called basket interference or some damn thing.
Yeah. So Dean, I missed the first one you're talking about. I had no clue about that one. I must have been getting a drink or whatever. Yeah. So I didn't see that. Okay, I'll have to go back and watch.
Yeah. And then the one the foul that Fulgaris had that I called a kind of a touchy there, kind of like the guy had his hands up. I mean, I think he just put a finger on his hand or something. Just a finger. Just a finger. I mean, come on. Do we really want to call that a foul? You can say it. He just put a finger right on the hand. If it even touched. Yes.
But Dean,
technically it's a foul.
But did you notice that they were doing the same thing on USC side? I mean, that's what when you complain about the refs, that's one thing you did today. That was the normal, Dean. You were nice and everything in the first half, positive. All right. But you kept complaining about the refs. So there's that. We got to get that out of you. So,
okay. Well, no. Okay.
But it was going on both sides. And at halftime, they had 9 fouls to Iowa's 4. And you were still complaining about the refs. They had 3 kids. They had 3 kids in foul trouble at the half.
Yes, I agree with you there. Okay.
I do not remember all these positive comments that you mentioned in the first half. Yeah. I do not remember. I don't even remember any. And I finally said I thought Iowa would battle back, and then at halftime we were either ahead by 1 or down by 1. But
we were down by 1. But now, Jason, I do want to say that I did tell you that I agreed with you on the fouls because once I posted the thing, I saw where we were actually getting calls in our favor, and we were starting to get kids in foul trouble. But I said that would flip in the second half. It always does. What happened in the first 3 minutes of the first half? We had 7 fouls on us.
6.
I mean,
we had 6, but it didn't flip. But we were playing tough defense though. But it did. Did you notice how it ended? Like, did you look at the fouls and everything? How it ended?
Yeah. We had 1 more foul than they did.
Yeah. So I mean,
it caught up. It caught up at the end of the game. It did. And thank God the last foul of the game that they called was that stupid foul, because there's no way I could think that we were going to, with them cornering Sturts over in the corner, that we were going to be able to get the ball free for a good look with 4 seconds left.
I knew in the first I knew in the first half when it was a close game and we had shot 9% from 3-point land. I knew that was a good positive for us. And when you look at the statistics for the game, Iowa really beat USC in every single category except 2-point field goal percentage, points off turnovers, because USC, if they got a turnover on us, they were so athletic. It was like a bunch of greyhounds running down the court. And we beat them at the free throw line. We hit like 86%, and USC did not shoot free throws like that. That's how you win games, is some category where you play even. You beat them in the most categories, and that's what we did.
Well, our 3-point percentage came up to 32% at the end of the game. Our field goal percentage came up to 41.8. So good job by Iowa for turning that around. We shot 19 of 22 free throws compared to their 11 for 16. This might be the first time this year that this team, who's known for drawing fouls out of people, didn't outshoot somebody at the line, because this team has made more free throws than Iowa's. This team has had more free throws this year than Iowa has attempted. Or what I'm trying to figure out how to word that. But you know what I mean?
No, you worded it just fine. They made more free throws than Iowa has attempted.
Yeah. And so rebounds was in our favor, 28-26. Assists in our favor, 11-8. They did have 4 blocks to our 1. We had 12 steals, though, compared to their 6. I can't see the turnovers. 14 each. So not too bad.
Without our defense, the whole game, but in the first half, it would not have been pretty. We kept poking the ball away, and how many, some of our guys, how many steals did we get? Did we have people that had a good number of steals, or do you have that, Dean?
I do not have individual steals on this one. And the one you sent, I don't have it either because you cut it off.
Well, I sent both of them, I think. Well, maybe I didn't. I don't know. But anyway, and a lot of times, Iowa pokes balls away, and the guy that gets the steal is the guy that ends up with the ball. That's they're not always accurate. But I was just wondering. But
I got you.
Okay.
Oh, wait, Kelvin, you probably know. Who won between UCLA and Illinois? The women. Oh,
UCLA pulled away. It was close, but they pulled away and won by 15 or something, 82 to 67. No, we already announced that Washington beat Maryland, which is just kind of a quasi upset because Washington's like 18th and Maryland's like 16th or 17th.
Here's why I like Howard on the court. Who I think, Dean, are you the one that don't like Howard? But
I love
his favorite player.
He's my favorite player.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking the other way. I'm thinking Dean negative. I gotta get that out of my head. But Howard had 4 steals on the game, and he only played 25 minutes. But he had the most steals.
But he got some of them that were poked away, and then he'd get them.
Right.
So who gets credit for the steal, the poke away or the guy who ends up with it?
The guy that ends up with possession.
Yeah, Sage had 2. Fulgaris had 1. Banks had a couple. Manyaw had 1. He had 2 turnovers. He only played 10 minutes and had 2 turnovers. That's why he didn't play.
Well, one of his turnovers was his second foul. It was a moving screen. They called Iowa for moving screens like 4 times. Today. Yeah. That's why Banks fouled out. I think he had 2 of his fouls were freaking
screens.
Yeah, and I don't know if they really were or not, but
but nobody ever calls that. Iowa, I mean, they could get called for that a lot, but most people don't. But you notice they don't even set a real screen. They literally just pretend and then they go. So they don't even touch the guy they're trying to screen. Yeah. So I think they got called for that tonight because it's just those refs couldn't really tell. They always do the pretend. They don't set a real screen a lot of times. You'll see them because they do so much motion. So they'll fake the screen, and once the kid gets to them, they take off. They cut. They go straight across to so that way, whoever the point guard is, whoever's handling the ball, could either toss it down to them or to somebody else cutting or to the corner. So they do all kinds of. I just love the offense. It's a Europe offense. Did you guys know that?
He studies European.
Yep.
European play. They ask him if he watches the NBA, and he says, "I never watch the NBA. That's crappy basketball." And he said, "I don't watch any college basketball because I don't learn anything." He said, "I watch European basketball."
Yeah. So the stuff we do is European. And he did say, he goes, "I could never be an NBA coach because they don't play basketball." He thinks European basketball, they play real basketball. That's his belief.
But then he also commented that we do not play European defense because they don't play defense.
Yeah, they play man to man, just switch on screens. Yeah, they don't.
Or really bad man to man. That's what he said. I'm just quoting what Ben said.
No, you're talking about
we do not play European. We play a European offense with drop passes, and our big guys shoot threes, and our big guys can get assists, a lot of assists and stuff. Yeah. And our point guard doesn't handle the ball all the time, and we play out on the 3-point line or go to the hoop, one or the other. And he said, but we do not play European defense. He said so.
Yeah.
And,
well, yeah, they play. I mean, they basically play man to man, with the exception of the few switches. He did say that he played zone one time in college at Northwest, because they weren't playing man to man. They weren't. So he disciplined his team by putting them in zone. he said they weren't playing defense and man to man. They would not follow their guys. So he disciplined them by putting them in zone and not letting them do anything. That's what he said in an interview, that he played zone one time in a game, and it was strictly to discipline his players. They don't like zone. They wanted to play man to man.
Yeah. This guy, Ben McCollum, in my mind, is almost like the Kirk Cinetti of basketball. You know?
Kirk Ferentz.
Well, I was just thinking about the way he's so adamant and demanding and stuff. We don't
he talks just like Kirk Ferentz.
Yeah, but
it's all about defense, all about discipline,
Yeah, but you've heard Cinetti speak, because sometimes he's such an ass, you just want to wring his neck. But but I just feel like that's the way Ben coaches behind the scenes. What you see from Ben publicly, you're not going to see behind closed doors, because I think Sturt said it all when he says, I can't repeat the words that coach said at halftime.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Kirk Ferentz saying those words. Maybe he does. Maybe he does.
Kirk loses his voice a lot of practices. I know that. Coaching offense and offensive linemen and tight ends on their blocking. It's like screaming at them the whole goddamn practice, So
yeah, I got some stuff I want to say for our next show that we do football on. But I don't have it ready to go tonight. Should we go ahead and talk about Oregon a little bit?
Yeah, just the next football one, Dean. Try to cut down on the negativity, please. Okay. So that's a joke. You guys could laugh at my jokes, but you don't.
One thing you don't have to worry about the about football, you don't have to worry about it until August from me. We're going to make predictions. We're going to make some predictions on standings and stuff like that. By the way, have you guys seen our 2027 schedule compared to next year? Our 2026 schedule is a piece of cake. The only thing that makes our 2026 schedule tough is our first 3 games. But after that, we play the West Division the rest of the way. We're going to go 6-0 to finish the season if we don't come out of the first 3 games all injured up and so banged up we can't handle it.
Yep, 2027 is a murderer's row of Big Ten conference schedules.
Yeah, I believe we have Penn State, Michigan again, I believe.
Oregon,
USC, and UCLA.
Well, UCLA wouldn't figure into the toughness, but I can't remember who we're playing, but we're playing it looks like 5 top 15 teams or top 10 or something. So
okay, so we talked about the schedule last night. Let's talk about Oregon. Okay, Oregon, who still has a game to play tonight. So who are they playing again?
UCLA.
Okay, so that game could go probably UCLA's way.
UCLA
is not a bad team. We're glad we beat them already. I'm just not looking forward to
Oregon's roster is just decimated by injury, like Maryland's women are.
How bad is their injury?
They got a hell of a coach up there. We all know Dana Altman. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame type coach, but when you have the injury bug hit you, there's not much you can do about it.
It happens. Okay, Oregon.
Something happened to the USC women, because the Iowa women were favored on the FPI on ESPN. Now USC is. I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, we covered that. Was our last podcast? When the hell was it? Last night? Night before? Last night?
last night.
Yeah, I said that at that time the predictor had USC like a 59-60% chance of winning. And then UCLA was like 88% chance of beating Iowa. But
it was interesting because like just a couple weeks ago when I was going through them all, it had Iowa beating USC. So I was just wondering what changed.
That's weird because USC, even though they're like 3-6 in the Big Ten, they are 23 in the net. Iowa's like 10th in the net. UCLA is number 2, of course, behind UConn.
Okay,
USC just lost a bunch. USC's just like we were last year. Wasn't the Iowa women like 2-6 to start the Big Ten last year? And we just kept losing these close games. And that's what USC's doing. And you wait till you run into the USC defense. They've got a bunch of 6'1" guards that are all Americans. And Kennedy Smith was Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year last year as a true freshman, a 6'1" guard. I hope she don't guard Addie Deal.
Yeah, they probably will. Yeah. All righty. So let's talk. The thing is maybe that things changed a little bit because of losing Taylor McCabe. Maybe they thought losing a starter was worth that.
Well, that predictor thing I looked at was before we knew McCabe was out, but anyway.
All right, well, let's talk about the Oregon men. That's the next team that our men will run into. They average 73 points a game, 36 rebounds per game. Jackson, Shelsted is 15 points a game, 4 assists a game, almost 5. Kawam Evans Jr. is 12 points a game, 7.3 rebounds. Nate Biddle, 16.3 points per game. Right now it doesn't give a. Let me see if I can figure this out. Okay. They give up 74.2 points a game, so that pretty much about like tonight's game. I mean, the thing is, and speaking of tonight's game, I wanted to say. At one point, I said, if we hold, we got this game won because we're going to hold them USC under 60 and we're going to go over 70 because I think we were only like 6-7 points away at that time from reaching 70. And boy, did I make a bad call on that one.
Hey, you're looking at the Oregon stats right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why don't you check games played, and that way you can tell how many guys have been injured, If there's a bunch of guys that played 10 games or 5 games or 12 games instead of the 20.
Nate Biddle has played 15 out of 15. Jackson's played 12 out of 12. Evans has played 18 out of 18.
How can a guy...
I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say is they play this many games and they've started this many games. Okay.
They've played 20 games. They've only got 1, 2, 3. Only 3 players on their entire roster have played 20 games.
Yep.
So they've went through some injuries.
So I'm going to guess Waylon and Derek Lindsey are both recent starters. I'm sorry, I mean Sean Stewart, because one started 11 out of 20 games, the other one has started 6 out of 20 games. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the kid that plays the most minutes per game, he plays 35 minutes a game, but he's only played 12 games. So he's been out. He missed 8 games, and he obviously, when he's on the court, he plays the most.
And I talked about the net rankings for the women, The net rankings for the men, Iowa's net ranking is like 20th. USC tonight was 51st. And Oregon is 109 because they have no roster. That's how That's how I'm just telling you guys how injured they are. I would be very disappointed if we lost to Oregon. But
yeah, I mean, this shows right
you guys
here
know
that
who
they're
exactly
very injured.
Yeah,
I have no clue. I don't know of a single player that plays for them.
Okay. You got something there on the injuries there?
I'm a terrible information guy for your podcast tonight, Dean. I just know their roster is decimated. That's all I know. So
okay.
Yeah. They're
so
all the players with the most minutes played, like literally all of them. Oh, they got one. Simpkins have played 20. But everybody else is like 18 games, 12 games, 15 games. Like all their players that play the most haven't played close to 20.
Yeah.
What I would know if I could use a computer, which I can't when I'm on the phone. If I could, I would just go to ESPN, and they always list like the last 5 games, who's been playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they'll have total season stats, then they'll have last 5 games, and you can click on them, and they show you who's been playing lately. But it doesn't matter; they're just decimated. So anyway.
So right now they're on a losing streak. 1, 2, 3. Looks like they're in a 6-game losing streak at Rutgers, Ohio State, at Nebraska, Michigan, Michigan State, and at Washington. But of course they play UCLA, so that will probably get extended tonight. The wins have come against smaller teams like Hawaii, Rice, South Dakota, Oregon State, UC Davis, and Portland and Omaha. Oh, they did win at Maryland. Okay.
Another bad team. By what? Well, they're a bad team. When we played Maryland, I said they're a bad team.
Yeah.
You know, and they're a bad team. You know, but anyway, here's a score update. The Wisconsin, their score was doubled up by Minnesota, and now Wisconsin's ahead by 1 with 2 minutes to go, 3 minutes to go. So.
Wisconsin's a scary team, as they always are. All right, okay. So, like I said, field goals percentage. Oregon's at 42%. They give up 43% to their opponents. They're 33% on 3-point shooting. They give up 34% to their opponents. Free throw percentage is 709, and their opponents are 770. Rebounds, they're doing 36 a game. They're giving up 34 rebounds a game. Assists per game, they're averaging 14. Their opponents are averaging 13. Turnovers per game, 12.5. They're only forcing 11 per game. Steals, 6.1 a game. Their opponents have 7.3. Blocks, 4.4, and their opponents are 3.2. And here's another team. I'm just amazed by we're so spoiled with the Iowa Hawkeyes. Here's another team where it's only averaging 9,000 people for their home games against. That is just sad. I mean, I guess I should probably find out how many people did we have tonight at our game. You know,
it was a disappointing attendance, according to Tom Kakert and them. They said there was they had like 10,000 tickets sold for the game, and there was plenty of empty seats. So Iowa fans are not as great as they are made out to be by Iowa fans. So
okay,
they are for the women.
The Iowa women have not, even though the games have been sold out in season tickets, the Iowa women this year still, even though they played some big games like Michigan State at home, did we play Ohio State at home or whatever? We still haven't had a game where the seats were full for the women. Okay. I think it's just ridiculous, you know.
So they gave the students last week free jerseys. They probably took the jerseys and left and went down to the bars.
Yeah. I think that the students at Iowa have really backed Ben. You know, they don't sit on their butt like a lot of the people that go to the games, they get up and yell, and they dress in Ben's yellow necktie, and I'm not going to criticize the students. But anyway, did you guys get my my revenue thing on Iowa women basketball this year?
I didn't get a chance to read it, but since Caitlin Clark, they're not making any money.
Their revenues went down. They've sold out season tickets, but they didn't raise their season ticket prices like they should have, and people aren't buying merchandise as much, and they still spend an exorbitant amount of money on recruiting trips, which they probably have to. But
who do you think right now? I mean, Caitlin Clark, when she was there, was the most popular player on the team, followed by Kate Martin and probably Gabby Marshall. But who do you think right now on this team is the most popular woman player on the team?
About all of them. I think Iowa fans love Hannah. They love Chit Chat. They love Kylie. They love Taylor McCabe. They love. I think they love all of them.
I would say Hannah's probably slightly above all of them right now.
I don't know. Chit Chat's very popular. I think Addie Deal. She's very. I think the Iowa fans love every one of them girls. I really do.
Alrighty.
I think they love Cal. I think they love Callie. I think they love everybody.
All right. So we got a game tomorrow night.
It's different when you're rooting for women.
Yeah.
All right. You
okay.
don't poke holes in them, and you love them. So
yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Tomorrow night the women play USC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting a win, but we'll see what happens. We handled the press from Maryland. We handled the press from Ohio State. Although Maryland was more of a soft press because they didn't have the bodies to go full court press and hard. And Ohio State, to me, they also didn't seem to press much until later in the game. But
they pressed, but we were throwing over them.
Yeah.
Did you see how Iowa was breaking the press?
Yeah.
It was the most interesting thing I ever seen. Instead of trying to slow it up, they were just throwing it over to half court.
That's what Bob Knight did against Tom Davis all the time. Just throw over. Tom always had 4 guys in the front court, and AC Earl would be up near half court, or whoever was up near half court, Ed Horton or whatever, and Bob Knight would just throw over top of him.
Yeah. Well, and then anyway, my point was I think USC also presents that kind of a pressure defense too.
USC, UConn didn't press us because they knew they didn't have to.
No.
Because UConn is that good. But USC will be the best defensive team we've played this year.
All righty. Guys, you got anything you want to say in closing before we wrap this up?
Purdue is on a 3-game losing streak.
That's interesting.
Got us within 1 game of them. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it?
At first, we almost beat them at their place. Now I'm feeling like we can get them at home.
Yeah.
We almost beat them with the flu.
That's true. That's one of our flu games. That in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah, just think what our record might have been other than the Michigan State game. Just think what our record could have been if we wouldn't have had that flu week.
Yeah.
Did
we lose 3 in a row? Big Ten games in a row?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe so. But
alrighty.
No, that's my only take. It was pretty surprising when UCLA beat them. Indiana beat them. Like Purdue's lost 3 in a row to teams that I didn't think they would lose to.
Yeah. Who's your guys' early in the season for the men? Who's your surprise team in the men this year? Somebody you weren't thinking that was going to make some noise.
Before the season started? Oh, Nebraska.
Duh.
Yeah, Nebraska.
You know,
Nebraska. Even though they lost last night,
And I said when we did my Big Ten rundown of how they're gonna finish, I said that. Where the hell do I have that? Where did I put Nebraska? But anyway, I said we're going to beat Nebraska twice. I think we play them twice.
We do.
Yeah, here's my list. I had Nebraska in 8th place.
Mm-hmm.
And I had Iowa in 4th, which Iowa's, the way teams are losing, if Wisconsin would lose here in the last 10 seconds of the game, we'd be Wisconsin, who had a great record a week ago, would have lost two games in a row, and we'd be 1 game behind them. So
what's the current score?
Wisconsin ahead by 2 with 9.7 seconds left. They were literally behind by 20.
Minnesota have the ball, or do they have the ball?
I wasn't watching it. Right now they're showing Greg Gard's grouchy face. Wisconsin has the ball, so they're going to Minnesota's going to try for a steal or foul them probably.
Yeah. Oh, that's
and
typical,
they just fouled him. So
yeah.
Anyway,
hit 2 free throws. Game's over. But
Jason, how's your health been? Been doing okay? Good.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Good.
I was just wanted to say too, what do you guys think about Minnesota? Do you think they're kind of a surprise this year?
I think they're pretty much right where I thought they would be.
Okay.
Like they're right in the middle. I mean, they should win some games. They haven't been winning games they could have won. I mean, Iowa was just unlucky. If I would, I think, like Kelvin said, we beat Minnesota if we weren't sick. I mean, Iowa would be in the top 4 right now, I believe, without the flu, because they were almost in those games and they were all sick.
Yeah. So we lose to Michigan State.
When we lost to Purdue, I remember exactly what Ben said afterwards. Of course, everybody said to him, weren't we ahead by 9 in the second half at Purdue? And anyway, Kakert, of course, he said, Ben, what about the officiating? And Ben says, I don't never blame the officials like that, which he could have very easily. And then he said, by the way, Sturts played at about 40% tonight because he had the flu.
He was one of them that actually had it. Where there was others that they were sick, but it affected like Mania would have affected him.
Was that the game that Tavian Banks stayed home?
Oh, it might have been. Yeah.
One game, Tavian Banks. One game. No, that was the guy that don't play, Manteo, whatever his name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, the Italian.
He's a freshman guy.
Okay, guys, help me out here. We lost to Michigan State, Purdue, and Minnesota. Who was the other team we lost to?
I hate you, Dean. Wisconsin won by 4. I don't know who it was. I don't know. Y'all darn it.
They lost to Minnesota, Illinois.
That's it.
Illinois.
Oh, yeah, Illinois.
To me, Illinois and Michigan are the 2 most talented teams when you have 7'1" forwards. And the Illinois point guard is going to be a lottery pick as a true freshman. Wagler.
He
visited Drake. He was a 2-star, and he visited Drake, and then he visited Drake in, I think, Minnesota. I think he was from Minneapolis or something. And then anyway, all of a sudden, somebody else, Underwood, recognized him at Illinois. If he'd have committed to Drake, he'd have been in the backcourt with Bennett Sturts, But Underwood seen him, and Underwood started recruiting him, offered him a scholarship, which Illinois is a big school. And then Underwood was smart enough that he said, I think you're a one and done guy. And the Wagler kid looked at him like, what? And he is a one and done guy. He scored 46 points at Purdue. Was it at Purdue the other day?
They spanked Purdue. Yeah.
Yeah, so 46 points as a true freshman, and he could have easily scored 50-some points.
So
but
this
he
is
didn't.
The guy who's going to declare for the NBA at the end of the season.
Yeah, he's a number 5, 6, 7 guy in the draft now. Sturts has fallen to about 16, 17 in there, something like that. But
all right, guys. I mean, if you don't have anything else to say, we should probably wrap this up. It's 10 o'clock your guys' time. People on the East Coast, it's 11 o'clock. They're getting tired. They're getting yawny. They want to go to bed.
Well, right. I'll just say that Wagler kid was 13 of 17 shooting, and he got his 46 points. He played 39 minutes.
What was he like? What was he like? 9 out of 11 from 3?
9 of 11 from 3.
I got a memory, Jason. I'll have to look it up.
What did he do against Iowa?
He was great against Iowa.
He was.
You remember him hitting the 3-pointer from like the low from like where Caitlin the 22 is on the court, but he was on the other side of the opposite side of the court. It was ridiculous.
Against Iowa.
Caitlin, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he was 4 of 7 from 3 against Iowa. He only scored 19 points.
Is that all? Is that all?
Guys, how many girls and men come into Hawkeye Carver during their shoot around and go over to Caitlin's spot and try to see if they can hit that shot?
There's videos.
I would.
A lot of people
I would if I was there.
I'll bet every one of them goes and tries it.
Yeah, there's videos of them trying. Yeah.
But but they just stand there. I mean, Caitlin was on a full run and stopped and shot.
Yeah.
She had a lot of momentum behind her. But.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think this has been a good place. Thank you for joining us tonight, Jason. Special guest star on his own show. Thank you.
It was
anyway,
fun.
guys.
I'm glad I got to debate. I got to debate Kelvin. I like that. Thank you for
all we debated about was Bennett Sturts whether to bench him.
Hey, it was still a debate.
I want Dean to cut that little clip out, and I'm gonna send it to the basketball office.
Oh, there you go.
See what Ben has to say. But
I mean, but Ben, the thing is, Ben's in love with him. His coaches on the bench have to tell him to take Sturts out. He even said that. They're like, that one time when he had 3 fouls, Ben said in his conference that, my coaches were telling me to take him out. He goes, I don't like to take him out.
I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard Ben say that.
Yeah,
and he said I was too dumb to listen to my own coaches. Jeez, he's got more coaches on the bench than he has players. You see that? The players don't have room to sit because he's got like 7. What the hell? And then he's got guys sitting behind the bench. Beth sure provides a lot of funding for Ben. Oh my God! And,
do you guys remember?
And you know what I've heard? You know what I've heard as a rumor? Phil Parker's fed up with Bennett Sturts.
Because he doesn't play defense.
he's fed up because he don't think he's giving a good effort. That's just a rumor. It's a rumor. That we better circulate here on a podcast since Jason's back. So.
Yeah, gotta circulate the rumors because definitely if we don't have a rumor to debunk or commit. All right, guys, it's been fun. It's been real, but I have to get out of here. I got things I need to do to get ready for bed.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
It's good to see you. Good to see you again, Jason.
Yep, nice to be on again too. Nice to talk to you guys as well.